Hello everyone, it's me again. I've just quit my six-figure paying job and I just got a braces. Right, so most people think that quitting a six-figure paying job to trade is insane. And they are probably right. But for me, after backtesting over 3,000 trades and proving consistency and profitability, I realized something crucial. So the biggest risk isn't leaving my job, but it's staying in it. Today, I'm sharing the real numbers, the downside scenarios, and exactly why I'm betting on myself. By the end of this, you'll know whether this is a calculated move or stupid one, and how to evaluate that for yourself. Let me be brutally honest with you. I'm about to risk everything I've built over the past 8 years, my stable income, my career progression, and even my reputation. I'm going to show you exactly why this terrifies me and excites me at the same time. But before I dive into the numbers, there's something you need to understand about why most people who attempt this transition fail miserably. Comment below if you ever thought about leaving your job to trade full time, because what I'm about to share will either inspire you or save you from financial disaster. Here's what nobody talks about when they discuss career transition. I've been trading on and off for close to 12 years, and I've blown accounts, lost a five-figure PAMM investment, and yes, I've fallen for every single scam in the book. But here's the thing. Each failure taught me something that my corporate job could never do. The turning point came when I started collecting data. Over 3,000 backtested trades later, I had undeniable proof that my system works. But having a profitable system and having the courage to bet your life on it are two completely different things. That's when I started to get payouts from prop firms. I started receiving prop firms are a useful way for you to scale your income by passing the challenges. And of course, you need to be profitable with a working system in order to get the payouts from them. Now, let me paint you a picture of my successful corporate life. I make a decent six-figure salary. I have job security, benefits, the whole package. On paper, I'm living the dream. But here's what that dream actually looks like. I spend more than 40 hours a week doing work that doesn't challenge me anymore. I sit in meetings that could have been just emails, and I deal with office politics that drains my mental energy. And most of all, I'm trading my most valuable asset, my time, for money at a fixed rate that will never scale. And not to mention, I'm in the finance sector, so I have trading restriction on stocks. Now, I need you to understand something crucial about how most people think about risk. Most people see job security as safe and trading as risky. But let me flip that perspective for you. In my job, my income is capped. I can get a promotion, maybe a raise, but there's always a ceiling. With trading, if I can consistently make 1% on $10,000, I can make 1% on $100,000 with the same effort. So for my current plan, I will be trading with 25K in the futures, 25K in CFDs, and 50K in stocks. With a burn rate of around 2 to 3K a month, my savings can last me around 3 years. Now, this is not linear growth. This is exponential potential. But here's what really opened my eyes. I'm not just trading a salary for trading income. I'm trading a capped upside for what mathematicians call it a convex payoff distribution. Let me explain this in simple terms. In my day job, the best case scenario is maybe doubling my salary over the next 10 years. The worst case scenario is getting laid off and starting over again. Now, that's a pretty narrow range of outcome. With trading, the worst case scenario is losing my trading capital. And yes, of course, that's scary. But the best case scenario, there's literally no ceiling. I could 10x, 20x, or even 100x my income if I scale properly. But before you think that I'm being reckless, let me show you exactly how I'm managing the downside. Here's where most people who make this transition get it completely wrong. They focus on the upside and ignore the downside. I am going to do the opposite. The worst case scenario for me I lose my entire trading capital and I can't find another job. How long can I survive? I have 3 years worth of savings and my trading capital is separated from my savings. This means that I do not need to stress about needing to profit from the market in order to survive. My maximum drawdown for my futures strategy is 8.13%. This is pretty decent and is within my risk tolerance. My win rate is only 19%, but my average RR is 6 points, which is profitable in the long run. Well, of course, all these are past data which I've traded live. And what if I have 6 months of consecutive losses in the future? That will be unlikely, but even if it happens, I will take a look at my 6 months worth of trades. Are they in line with my trading strategy? If yes, then I will not change a thing. If not, I'll need to investigate and adapt. I'm not sharing this to scare you. I'm sharing this because if you can't handle the worst case scenario, you have no business making this transition. And now here's the crucial question everyone is asking. Why do I think I can succeed when 90% of traders fail? It comes down to 3 things. First and foremost, I've spent thousands of hours learning a strategy, case studying, backtesting, refining, and forward testing. Even though I only forward tested a scalping system on a trending market for close to 1.5 years, but it has been profitable and has gotten a few payouts. The majority of the traders started out without even backtesting a system. There's no lot of backtested data for the traders to understand how the strategy will perform. You need to understand your win rate, your lose rate, average RR, and average drawdown over a large number of trades. I've documented over 3,000 trades and I roughly know my results over the long run if I consistently take the same trade according to my trading strategy. Now, second, I understand trading psychology. After 12 years of failures, comeback, I know my emotional triggers. I know when to trade and when to step away. Thirdly, and this is crucial, I'm not depending on trading to pay my bills immediately. When you're stressed, having to profit from the market in order to survive, it just adds on stress to your trading capability. But here's something most people don't even consider when making this decision. Is this move reversible? Can I go back to corporate if trading doesn't work out? Well, the honest answer is it depends. With 3 years of unemployment, it might be a red flag for potential employers. Furthermore, competition for a job is so intense right now, especially in the finance sector. I can probably still get back into the job market, but of course, I have to manage my expectation for a pay cut or even consider another industry. This isn't a decision I'm making lightly, and once I leave, there's no guarantee I can come back at the same level. That's why the numbers I have are absolutely bulletproof. On a psychological level, here's what really changed for me. I stopped thinking like an employee and started thinking like an entrepreneur. In my job, I'm building someone else's dream, but in trading, I'm building my own. This mindset shift from depending on a paycheck to depending on myself was terrifying, but now it's liberating. I'm no longer at the mercy of a corporate restructuring, office politics, or someone else's decision about my worth. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job and start trading. That will be irresponsible. But I'm telling you to ask yourself some hard questions. Are you trading your time efficiently? What's the opportunity cost of your current situation? Do you have the skills that could scale beyond employment? What would you regret not trying? Comment below and let me know what's holding you back from betting on yourself. Well, I'm not just jumping off a cliff and hoping for the best. This is calculated, systematic approach with clear benchmark and kill switches. On future videos, I'll document every single step of this journey. The wins, the losses, the psychological challenges, everything might as well help others learn from my experience. Look, I might be making the biggest mistake of my life, but in 6 months, I could be broke, unemployed, and regretting everything. But you know what I'll regret more? Getting to 65 and wondering what if. Life is finite. Careers should serve life goals, not the other way around. I would rather fail trying to build something meaningful than succeed at something that doesn't fulfill me. If you found this helpful, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll be documenting this entire journey, and trust me, It's going to be a wild ride. Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts. Am I making a smart move or am I completely insane? I read every comment and honestly, I could use the perspective. Remember, the biggest risk isn't failing. It's never trying at all. I'll see you in the next video.